With this, we print a string. And with this, we also print a string. But by mentioning the string by the variable it is assigned to. And now I am going to show you a way to combine strings with variables. All right, I'm going to run this now and let your intuition understand what this does. All right, this is the output. Let that intuition work a little. And now I am going to explain it. This is fairly simple. You place an F before the start of the string, which means to place the F before the opening quotation mark. And you place that variable that you intend to combine with your string within curly braces. What does the F stand for? The F can here be intended as format. So the F formats the variables within curly braces into the values associated with them. And the printed output is the whole thing as a single string. In lesson 1.2, I showed you how you can apply a method directly on a variable. This still remains true for variables in the curly braces of F strings. By the way, this is what you call it, an F string. But let's go back to the method. I was saying that you can apply a method to this variable right here. So let's just show you what I meant. And for those who have not watched the previous lecture, this is a method, the title method, and it allows you to change to uppercase the first character of each word of a string. In this case, the string associated with the variable name. Let's just give it a quick run for the sake of repetition. All right, and here you can see what I meant if you forgot or did not watch that previous lecture. Now let's remove this and let's show you how you can even apply a method on an entire half string. Let's print this and let's run this. Oops, I made an error. It is telling me that on line 3, so this line here, there is a syntax error and the error is at this location. This is easy, I just forgot to remove the dot when I removed the method. Let's now clear this out. I fixed my issue. Let's try to run this again. All right, this is working. And this is now all uppercase because I applied the upper method on the F string. Now it's time to demonstrate the usefulness of F strings with something more realistic. Let's say you are afflicted by allergies and are booked for an appointment with a clinic. The appointment in this scenario is far away and you don't think can wait that long. So you email the clinic daily to ask if an earlier slot has become available. But emailing the clinic every day becomes repetitive, right? Luckily, you are a programmer, so you decide to automate it. So let's say you want to send the clinic this same message every day.
Dear Hay Fever and Allergy Center, I've been waiting since September 2022 for an allergist consultation for my rather severe pollen allergy, with an appointment set for April 3rd, 2028. I wonder if February 2nd, 2027 is my lucky day for an earlier slot. The current wind speed is 16 kilometers per hour. I believe this affects my pollen situation and thought the doctor might like to keep updated on this. Between sneezes, Alan Turing.
Well, if this is what you want to send every day, then this is problematic. Why? Well, some parts of this message will be incorrect, like this part here, which is supposed to represent the current day, and this one, which is supposed to represent the current wind speed. But if it is the same exact message that you send them every day, and you don't change these parts, you'd be doing it wrong. So for situations like this where you have some parts of your string that vary, F strings become useful. Follow me. Let's first push this down for a while. Let's go back up. Okay, we need two variables, right? We need variables 1 and 4. Oops. I just wrote variable. One for the date, the current date, which was this one. And then one for the wind speed. And this was 16 kilometers per hour. Right? So these are the variables that represent the parts of our emails that change, that vary every day. How do we make sure that these are the correct ones every day? Right? We can set up our program to retrieve these values freshly every day from the internet. And then we assign these values retrieved from the internet to these variables. The way we do that to retrieve these values from the internet is not part of this lecture though. So just focus on the F string. All right, let's now set up that F string we've been talking about. Let's bring this up again. Okay, let's now create a variable for that message. And let's just place this in here. All right, I'm going to bring this to the left because it just looks better. And if you're wondering, the way I did this is just by selecting it all and pressing at the same time my Shift and Tab keys on my keyboard. All right, now I am going to substitute this part with this variable here and this part with the other variable I created. So now, each day before this message is sent automatically to the clinic, it is re-evaluated because it needs to use the current values. So the main idea that I want you to remember from this lecture on F strings is that you can use them. They become useful when you have one part which remains the same, like what I'm selecting, right? And some others that change.